Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Ken Poon, I'm the Director of Planning with the Ontario International Airport Authority. And just a quick background of ONT. Ontario International Airport was returned back to local control back in November of 2016. And now we are the Ontario International Airport Authority is the owner and operator of the airport. My team and I, we formulate and update the Airport Capital Improvement Program, so touching everything from landside, airside, and we also conduct NEPA and CEQA review of all those projects. We also do conceptual reviews of tenant improvement projects, which there's quite a lot going on right now at the airport because we are one of the larger air cargo hub on the West Coast.
And then we have Fa Ali.
All right, I think it works great. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here, and thank you for having us. The panel, Fa Ali, I'm the Deputy Director of Planning and Development at San Jose International Airport. So we are one of the 3 airports in the Bay Area, kind of counterparts in San Francisco and Oakland. So I oversee a department of planning and development, so we basically do all the planning and development of the airport, and then see a group of architects and engineers who do the development side. We have an environmental group for regulatory compliance stuff, and also sustainability and resiliency side of stuff. We have digital transformation groups doing GIS and BIM modeling, and basically all the planning and then the capital improvement program that we manage. So the airport is is a department of the city of San Jose, owned and operated by the city. And we're located in the South Bay. And this is going to be our 75th year of operation. There you go.
Thank you. All right, I'll pose the first question to you, Ken. The Ontario Airport Authority maintains a large ongoing capital improvement program. What are some of the upcoming exciting projects that will improve efficiency and enhance the passenger experience at your airport?
Yeah, I think what I would say is we are about to kick off an expansion project to our security checkpoint at both Terminal 2 and Terminal 4, and increasing from 4 lanes to 6 lanes, also adjusting, relocating our exit corridor, and also enhancing our family restrooms. And so that is one of the upcoming, very, very near term, should be happening in the next year or so, that would really enhance the passenger experience. Currently at the airport during peak times, the wait time at the checkpoint is quite significant, and our checkpoint is actually on the level 2 of our building, of our terminal, and so oftentimes the queue may actually extend all the way down to level 1 just because of how backed up our checkpoint is during peak time. So I think that would really alleviate that congestion and really help and improve the passenger experience so that they can really get through the checkpoint and then enjoy all the amazing amenities and concessions that have now been brought into the airport over the last 2 to 3 years. And other more projects that are coming down the pipeline is originally our team is working on this terminal modernization program, which will eventually breach the gap between Terminal 2 and Terminal 4. There has been some updated timeline with that modernization program just because of environmental review processes that we're going through. And so the team, as of the last year, we have been actively looking at our existing Terminal 2 and 4, just because those have been around for 25 years. It's what's opened in 1998, and pretty much nothing have changed much since 1998. And so we are now, because of the updated timeline of that terminal modernization, now we are actively looking at existing terminal and enhancing our hold rooms that are closest to the checkpoint. We are planning to modernize the restrooms and also just bringing it to to current standards, current modern standards, and so those are the couple projects that are very exciting and that are up and coming at ONT.
I know from past year experience, I'm based in San Diego, and if anyone flies out of Terminal 1, which is Southwest, it's horrible. The experience is really bad. Even once you make it through the checkpoint, there's really not much. It's super small. But in 2025, end of 2025, we'll have a new terminal expansion there, which will be great. So I feel your pain or your passengers' pains when they have to go through and wait in a long line and then only to get through and not spend their money and time. So I get it with the revenue part, so thank you. All right, Fai, can you speak about how San Jose or other airports in the region could plan for evolutionary advancements, such as planning for advanced air mobility? The future of air mobility.
Thank you. Yeah, the future of air mobility. In San Jose, the airport, being surrounded by the Silicon Valley, it's very important for us to stay ahead of the game, right? To make sure that we're in front of the curve. We're revolutionizing, making sure that we're planning, having innovative solutions about the new up and coming. And part of that is the air mobility and all the vertiports and everything that we're talking about in the region. And some of the strategies that we're employing right now is making sure that we are pre-planning about what are the things we're going to need when we get to the future and we're ready for these new air mobility technologies coming in. One of the things we're looking at is site availability, which I think a lot of the airports are looking at as well, to make sure how do they incorporate these newer technologies coming in, and do they have the real estate, do they have the infrastructure available? So those are the things we're looking at in terms of the siting capabilities. Do we have enough real estate? Do we have enough pavement? Do we have enough facilities to support these future advancements? The other thing we're also looking at, the energy demand, right? Power needs of how much are these going to be needed? How much of it is being generated? Because you look at a typical airport, you're operating at maximum capacity of how many megs you need for your power. But now looking at what the future is going to bring in, are we ready for it? Are we planning for it? Are we strategizing to make sure that it's available to support the technology? At our airport at SJC, we're looking into smart grid systems for redundancy and reliability, making sure that we have more capacity included now in our planning, so we're future ready, and also looking at how we can integrate that into existing infrastructure. And that's a key thing that I think we're strategizing, which I know a lot of airports are looking at, is how do we incorporate these newer technologies into the existing infrastructure. So I think those are some of the key things that we're looking at, and we think would be good to kind of try to discover and research about.
I think you probably already alluded to my next question too, so I'm going to keep you on the hot seat. Are there any technical implementations that would prepare airports for future success?
So there's quite a few things, but I mean I can specifically talk about things that we're doing at SJC in terms of digital transformation, because I think that's the key thing for us, especially being in the heart of Silicon Valley, because our airport is usually, we're very proud to be a test hub for a lot of up and coming technologies, a lot of startups that have a lot of technology to come and test. We do that. You'll see a lot of things. You'll see in those robots, the roaming, our concourses. We have those automated wheelchairs that you could use, the autonomous ones. And also we're looking at how we can enhance our security infrastructure to prepare for future. We have projects going on that enhances our perimeter intrusion detection system, because with the arrival of newer growth and newer technologies and newer mode of carriers, with the AAM coming and all that kind of stuff, I think you'd be more open to vulnerabilities with people and trying to do stuff. So we're looking into those things in terms of integrating the technology, which is a key part for us. Also trying to see how we can enhance the travel experience, right? We also, the city in collaboration with the airport and the Department of Transportation is also looking at automated people movers from the city all the way to the airport, and see how we can integrate that technology. So I think staying ahead of the technology curve is also a very important thing.
Thank you. All right, Ken, what do you foresee as some of the key challenges as you're delivering your CIP projects, and how are you tackling that at the airport?
I think one of the key challenges that we are facing right now, and I think it's been echoed for the entire day, is electrification, and that is certainly something that we are actively tackling right now at the airport, because we are looking at electrifying everything. Our ground surface equipment, we have a plan to electrify our GSEs. We have cargo operators that are reaching out and with an intent to convert some of their feeder aircrafts to electric aircraft in the next couple of years. Electric vehicle, we have electric buses that are running right now. And so I think that's one of the things that we started working on 2 years ago was a utility infrastructure plan for the Ontario International Airport. And as we get to kind of the power demand, the projected power demand in the next 3 planning horizons, accounting for the development projects that we are anticipating in the next 10 to 15 years that are happening at the airport, there is a significant surge of power demand that are needed at ONT. And one of the things that we started doing just early this year is really partnering up with SoCal Edison and bring the right staff to the table so that they recognize that there is this challenge that we are dealing with and that ultimately we all are dealing with. And so I think that actually helped get the conversation going. It's been 6 months now since we initiated this original working group with SoCal Edison, and I think we are making in the right direction, and hopefully we'll be more well prepared when that time comes, so that doesn't become the critical path when these projects needs to happen.
Great. I'll pepper with you with one last question. How is your airport authority offices utilizing data analytics to optimize the capacity at the airport today?
In terms of data analytics, what we've been doing is, especially on the air side, how we have been looking at our airfield configurations is whether or not certain taxiways can really improve taxi time and offset emissions from aircraft taxiing on the airfield. And one of the tools that we've built and are actively maintaining is a fast time airfield simulation modeling that was constructed back in 3-4 years ago. And that tool have been instrumental in identifying how certain airfield alternatives is helping in enhancing the capacity of the airfield, help with the justification of those new taxiways, alignment that we're proposing on our airport layout plan. So that's just one of the ways that we're using data in order to help with our funding and in order to help with the justification of our projects on the air side. I would say on the land side, one of the things that we started looking at more recently is we have worked with a vendor called Numina, and they have deployed that system, which is really, it's mostly used for streets, and it kind of identify what are the, it would generate a heat map, and based on peak times, how many vehicles and passengers that you may see, and that actually helped with one of the planning work that we're doing is our curb optimization task, because during peak times today, what we're seeing is that we've been hearing and observing that there is a lot of congestions at particular area of our curb. And with this new data point, we're actually able to look at that and really try to pinpoint what is the problem at hand and how do we actually tackle and come up with the right solution that would address that issue, instead of just extending the curve and hoping that would resolve the situation. So I think those are just a couple things that we've been using to help with to help with the planning portion and when we're coming up with solutions to address some of these problems in our CIP.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, Ali, how is San Jose Airport revolutionizing their campus for future growth? We were talking about passenger experience, obviously, but future growth is very important to both of you guys. Just want to get a better understanding there.
And thanks, and that's a great challenge that we have at San Jose, because our airport layout is very linear. We're bounded by the freeways. We have freeways on all sides, so there's not a lot of room for us to expand for a future program. But we do have a master plan that kind of helps, takes us all the way down to building a new Terminal C, adding another 14 gates. So that's something that we've started working on a couple of years ago. It included, relocation of some of our existing facilities. We built a new RF station, a new hybrid RF station, opened a couple of years ago. We're in the process of relocating and building a new facilities campus for our facilities folks, our facilities division at the airport. We're also coming up with the new belly freight facility that is in the works right now. It's through the bidding process. So, and then after that, we have, planned for a new garage, and we've also planned for a new hotel, a new central utility plants, and eventually the big apple for us is the new Terminal C expansion, which we're working towards right now. And if you look at the lay of the land, we're very restricted in terms of real estate. So for us, engaging digital technology wherever we can, and also maximizing the use of real estate through innovative ways. I think those are key for us to make sure that we maximize what real estate we have available. So when we go out to construct, a new facility or any project part of our master plan, we look at how does it maximize our ROI as well, and also how does it provide the most value to us in terms of how much space it's going to take. And our focus is always in innovation and making sure that we have solutions that provide multiple benefits to us, and not just one, building a facility, get revenue out of it. We also look at future capacity. How does that getting incorporated? The other thing we also look at is how do we integrate technology into solving problems instead of just always building brick and mortar. We look at how can we use technology in terms of TSA lines and in terms of facial recognition and biometrics. How can that help us instead of building more space or more room for queuing? We look at how technology can help us advance our objectives. So for us is very dynamic. It's really focused into how we integrate technology and how innovative we are with the construction that we undertake at the airport, so we can maximize our space for development.
You guys have done a great job. I don't know if anyone flies into San Jose, but when you land, you walk outside, there's the Uber stand, car rental's right across the street. So I really appreciate that. It's really nice. SFO, it's a hike to get to Uber, underground, above ground. And then also for the Ontario Airport, I had the pleasure to go behind the scenes. A really cool, very impressive museum through the history of aviation. It was just really cool to see. So I wanted to try to wrap up early because I know we have another session, but I wanted to thank Ken and Ali for taking their time out of their day to come all the way down here and speak with y'all. So please give them a round of applause, and thank you guys.